fans. So today, our video is a bit of a fun one, as today I'll be counting down the top 5 best original scores in a movie. Now I'm going with one individual song. The whole movie probably does have a great soundtrack, and we'll probably enjoy those too. But this is only focusing on one specific song per movie that really stands out and is one of the best of all time in movie history. At number 5, we gotta go way back with Back to the Future. Back to the Future was originally composed by Alan Silvestri, who would later go on for fame with movies like The Avengers. Now he really knows how to make a fun and action-packed movie score. When you first hear that Back to the Future music, you know you're in for a fun time. It really sets the pace of this is going to be a wild but yet fun ride. It has a hint of wackiness to it, like a little bit over the top. But for the Back to the Future franchise, it really works. Back to the Future is all about fun. And it probably still is to this day the best time travel series of movies because it checks out logically, at least better than other time travel movies. It's fun, it's enjoyable, it's for the whole family, and the music really embodies that feeling, and it kept true all the way through the entire trilogy, making for an incredibly memorable soundtrack. So, without a doubt, number 5 is the Back to the Future, the main theme from the Back to the Future trilogy. However, due to some freak circumstances, at number 4 we're gonna have to go to prison. The end titles from the Shawshank Redemption. And the Shawshank Redemption is one of my all-time favorite movies, and that's probably why you guys didn't expect this movie to be on this list. But there's no doubt about it, this song, as well as the whole soundtrack, but more specifically this song, because, like I said, individual songs for this list. Stay focused. This individual song really encapsulates the body and soul of the film The Shawshank Redemption, and that's really what I'm looking for this list, is songs that really are incredibly memorable and really stay true to the movie that they're trying to represent. Shawshank Redemption is about a wrongly convicted man who's sentenced to basically life in prison, 2 life sentences I believe, and basically has to find hope in the most dire circumstances and eventually find a way to seek redemption and freedom. And that really, it's hard to encapsulate that into music, but composer Thomas Newman, who also did the score for Finding Nemo and Saving Mr. Banks, really encapsulates that sense of freedom and hope in a dark circumstance incredibly well. Yes, there's some tones of darkness in the soundtrack, but the end titles really just bring this wave of emotion and joy that really comes with the end of the movie, and really is a nice exclamation point to the whole message of the movie that hope is a good thing, probably the best of things, and no good thing ever truly dies. Some birds just can't be caged, their feathers are just too bright. Shawshank Redemption stands as one of the best films of all time and is bolstered by one of the best songs for a movie of all time that really encapsulates the spirit of what it stands for freedom in the face of dire circumstances, for the courage to keep going forward, and just an all-around embodiment of the human spirit and that willingness to succeed in even the worst possible scenario. At number 3, yes, we're out of prison now, but we just got whisked away on one of the most action-packed adventure series of all time. The Raiders March from Indiana Jones. Now, the Raiders March is most associated, obviously, with Raiders of the Lost Ark. No surprise there, but it really has been known to be with all the Indiana Jones movies. And this is really the theme of Indiana Jones the character. It's just action-packed, just like the Indiana Jones franchise is supposed to be representing. Indiana Jones actually started off nothing more as just a loving tribute to a whole bunch of the old, really cheesy, over-the-top action movies that Steven Spielberg and George Lucas grew up with. So they really wanted to make a love letter. In the process, they made one of the most famous movie trilogies of all time. And it's bolstered by a phenomenal main title theme, the Indiana Jones Raiders March. It's iconic, even if you haven't seen the Indiana Jones movies, which, really? Come on, everyone's seen them. At least Raiders, come on, you have to at least have seen Raiders. If not, you know this, and you know the music. The music is just iconic. It's just another little mark on the resume of John Williams, because John Williams is like the greatest composer, well, modern film composer for you all those musicians out there. But Indiana Jones, the music really gets you in the story really quick. All it is just whisks you away on this fun action adventure, really makes you feel like you were Indiana Jones when you're listening to the music. There's very few songs that are so closely associated with their movies, more so even just with their characters. The only other one that I could think of is the Superman theme with the original Christopher Reeve Superman. It's so just well linked to Indiana Jones, and it's just a great piece of music, but that's really why it has stood the test of time. You can't really have an Indiana Jones adventure or story, anything indie related, without the Raiders March, because the Raiders March is one of the best individual scores of all time. At number 2, we go from normal-sized humans to just a little bit smaller. Concerning Hobbits, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, more specifically Fellowship of the Ring. Concerning Hobbits is that really, really uber relaxing song that you could just listen to all day, any day, because it just gets you in that mellow mood. Yes, Lord of the Rings, I could have picked any song. An honorable mention for Lord of the Rings goes to Bridge of Khazad-dûm, when, spoiler alert, Gandalf dies. The music that plays when Gandalf dies is one of the most beautiful of all time. But concerning Hobbits, it's just gorgeous to listen to. It's so relaxing and tranquil. Even if you've never seen Lord of the Rings, I highly encourage you to listen to this song, because after listening to just that song, you get a sense of what Hobbit life is like, and that's really just the beginning of the story. It gets you invested in Lord of the Rings very, very quickly, right off the bat, because of that sound. You just fall into this certain state. You get relaxed. You know where the characters are coming from. You kind of get a sense of their culture in this aspect. This one immediately sets you into that Lord of the Rings mindset. If you have not seen Lord of the Rings, you probably should. They're really, really good, in case you hadn't heard that. But concerning Hobbits really puts you in this really tranquil and relaxing mindset, and you kind of identify more with the Hobbits because of this music. You can tell that they're very homely and relaxed. They don't really care about a whole lot of stuff. They don't let a whole lot of stuff get to them. So you can really identify with them quickly. And no other song, except for the number 1 obviously on this list, really gets me back into that world and makes me connect just by hearing the first opening couple notes of a certain song. It's just relaxing and tranquil. It puts you back in Middle Earth and makes you want to go to the Shire. And no matter how bad it gets, you can always play this music and just think, okay, things will work out again, because it's the opening and the closing song of the entire trilogy, because it's that good, and it really is the song for home. You will always find your way back home at some point. With all the others out of the way, what is our number 1 score of all time? The best movie song, the most legendary? The main theme from Star Wars. Without a doubt, one of the most famous movies of all time has to be bolstered by an equally famous song. Even if you're from Mars and haven't seen Star Wars for some reason, after this video, go and check yourself in some crazy person place because you haven't seen Star Wars, and that in and of itself is insane. But even if you haven't seen the movies, you know the Star Wars song. It's used everywhere, and that's because it's epic, it's grand. You know something huge that's gonna equal that level of magnitude brought by that opening done is going to be huge, and it's because it's Star Wars. Star Wars has phenomenal music across the board, but by far the most iconic and powerful is just that opening one, that blast whenever the title crawl just goes up. Now I will give an honorable mention to 2 songs. Duel of Fates from The Phantom Menace. See, something good did come out of The Phantom Menace. Not much, but something. And The Binary Sunset. That music that plays when Luke is just looking over the horizon, wanting something more. And that Force music comes on. That just is iconic now. It all comes back to the main theme sets the tone. No matter what, even if you hated the prequels, you gotta admit you were a little bit excited when you heard that opening music, because it's the Star Wars song. Because it means there's something big coming. It signals you back to your childhood watching all the Star Wars movies again and again. For example, take a look at the Star Wars 7 teaser trailer that dropped way back in December. I wasn't overly impressed with the trailer. I was just happy to see some Star Wars related stuff until that main theme hit. You see the Millennium Falcon do the inverted flip to take out the TIE fighters while they're blasting the Star Wars music. That's when you just take that deep breath and go, you're home. You're back in Star Wars. No other music is iconic in the world of movies. It's Star Wars. People are drawn to Star Wars, And I really think one main aspect of that is the music. John Williams just perfectly embodies it. He knew what he was doing. He used the music to tell the story further. And it just started off with a bang, it ended with a bang. Looking forward to many, many more years of awesome Star Wars led by this awesome track. What do you guys think? What's your favorite movie score of all time? Any that I'm leaving off the list, like Rocky? Good honorable mention. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like what you see and you want to see more, subscribe to the channel. Anywhere in here, just click on that. Or find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 17 Movie Reviews. Stay sharp, movie guys and gals, and may the Force be with you.